Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. My guest this morning, one of them, at least the first of them, Mr. Seyi Adeyemo, publisher, IWA, and a public affairs analyst, Inside Watch Africa. Because people can think of it as Iwa. Well, you know, and Iwa.
In some way, yeah. Iwa
is a Yoruba word.
It's a Yoruba word, but over time, that's what we now write.
That's why I was particular to say IWA. Let's talk about it, Inside Watch Africa. But, yeah, even sometimes you're such that sometimes you swing to Inside Watch Nigeria. You know, because we do Inside Watch Africa from time to time. Yeah. It can be Inside Watch Nigeria. And I don't think there's any more trending topic nowadays than the security or lack thereof in the land. So much so that southern governors came together. It's all a bit old history, old but current, ongoing history. That, you know, we're going to have to look at things again. We're going to have to restructure. We're going to have to come up with a whole different paradigm if we're going to, you know, make any traction, any progress on what has become now a decades-long cyclical dance. So here we are. And then all of that, according to some, was sensitive, because I said, what's sensitive when we're talking about the facts? But apparently Senate President Lawan put his foot in it, my expression. But the lawmakers are angry. Well, if you go by newspaper reports, senators would have wished that he hadn't said what he had said and that he had waited, because there will be an in fact, so much so that there's going to be an executive session this morning before a public hearing, I believe. And I hear that this is all about, you know, calming down before we now come to the public session. So, Seyi, my question to you is, are people making too much of this? As you know, there's something of a divide. Some in the north do not understand the rationale behind where we are now. And others, a minority agreeably, are saying that they fully understand it. And then when you look at this whole matter about, although it's not exactly part of this whole story, this whole call for a Yoruba nation. It's going to take some doing, but this whole call for a Yoruba nation, again, if there's any such thing as northern Yorubas in the northern states, they say, count us out of this whole Oduduwa Republic affair. We're not part of it. We don't even understand what it's all about. Where do you want us to come to? What home are you wanting us to come to at this time, this date, and this age? So we're really talking. Mr. President, by the way, is not in.
He's in France.
He's in France. You know, duties of state, you know. So this isn't exactly maybe like a, you know, Lorio relay kind of a story. But give me your impressions of this whole scenario.
Okay, maybe I'll just cite two videos that I watched recently. One of Governor Ganduje, where he was speaking to what is on ground. And I must confess that I was pleasantly surprised because of his stand. Now, he said, look, in his own opinion, this is an ECOWAS problem, that he has discovered that over time, most of the people or the herdsmen that are giving us problem are people who come from other West African countries, and that they have discovered that selling arms and ammunition in Nigeria is profitable, and that he said is in a video, I think it was covered by one TV station, that they also have found out that it is easy to commit crime in Nigeria with the arms and ammunition that they bring into Nigeria, that we need as a people to stand against that. Then he then went further to analyze the fact that he does not understand the logic that somebody that is meant to be a rich man that goes around with hundreds of cattle would decide to trek from Sokoto to Ogun State, that in his own mind, that means the person is poor, because you can't own all of that and trek, you know, for months in the bush, suffer, when you could actually transport those things by lorry or whatever means and bring them down south. And one begin to wonder, Is it that we are so used to suffering? Because now that singular act of taking those things through Ondo, Ekiti, or Oyo, before you eventually get to Lagos, you then go into people's farm, because you can't really, unless you work it out, start to pay for where you graze, across those areas. So he has said, look, why can't we look at a situation where we look at this more properly? Because, and he said something, we should not be sentimental. We should not go the tribal, the native. Let us look at this thing objectively, like agribusiness. How best can we do this in such a way that the people will benefit, those who are doing the business will benefit, and everybody, it will be a win-win, rather than opening up an avenue where people from outside will take advantage of it and start to hurt us, bring in arms and ammunition, kill us, maim us, because at the end of the day, there's an argument that the guys who really do this are not completely Nigerians. So let us look at this dispassionately.
You're either Nigerian or you're not. You can't be half pregnant.
I mean, what I'm saying is...
When you say not completely Nigerians.
No, okay, so what I mean by that is maybe all of them are not Nigerians.
Okay,
some of them are
but
Nigerians.
They might be in a group.
Yes.
Some of them not having the Nigeria credentials.
Yes.
And others... Indeed, but we had a whole potpourri of issues, and of which this was one part of it. And we started off, or at least I started off with the Nigerian Senate, and in particular Senator Lawan, the Senate President, and he appears to have upset a lot of people by what they are referring to. His commentary is being seen as an outburst, and in fact, everybody in the Senate almost is said to be angry with him. But let me find out, you see, all of that can just be talk for WhatsApp. We have Dr. Jibola Bashiru, who is a spokesman of the Senate, and so he can tell us exactly what the situation is. Good morning to you, Dr. Bashiru. I saw that you said...
Good morning,
good morning. They've turned it off now. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much for making time for us this morning. Dr. Bashiru, what exactly is the state? The Senate President is reported to have said that he can't see the logic really in what's going on. In fact, it almost looked as if he was, shall we say, annoyed by the action of the southern governors, and that they were promoting regionalism. But all of that is out in the public domain. I know that speaking with you, we can have a very clear and accurate picture of what the Senate President intended, which allegedly has upset a lot of people, and in particular senators.
Yeah, I think we must, in order to contextualize the discussion and possible reaction of people, at the level of the Senate and at the level of the general Nigerian public, we must first make a clear characterization of the nature of the office of the senator, the nature of the office of the Senate, President, and when a position can be said to be that of the position of the Nigerian Senate. Just like it also happened that I am a spokesperson of the Nigerian Senate, that distinction must also be made by me in my capacity as a senator representing also Central Senatorial District. So I would say that this characterization of the context and capacity is very important in contextualizing the position of Dr. Senator Ahmed Lawan, PhD. He is first and foremost a senator from a section of the country, which is, Yobe, in northeast of Nigeria. It is upon his election as a senator, representative of that area, that he ultimately emerged in an election as primus inter pares, one among equal as presiding officer of the Senate and chairman of the National Assembly. So in contextualizing his opinion as a senator representing a people is quite different and distinct and as the position of the Senate of Nigeria. As far as the Nigerian Senate is concerned, whatever opinion that has been expressed by Dr. Ahmed Lawal, the Senate President, could only have been emanating from him as a senator representing, Yobe, district in the National Assembly, because for a position to be a position of the National Assembly, there must have been a motion ably moved under the relevant standing order and rules and resolution taken on it. So as far as issue of restructuring, is concerned, what the Senate President has expressed is his own personal opinion, which can only be subjected to scrutiny, to debate, to contentions, and to possible resolutions, either in form of adoption or rejection by the Nigerian Senate. So as far as I'm concerned, the fact that the President of the Senate will not derive him of his own personal opinion as a Nigerian, and to also ventilate his view the way he has seen it. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I'm asked about issue of restructuring, I would say for restructuring as a senator representing also Central from the state of Osun and from a particular geographical location in Nigeria. As a senator, I've personally sponsored a bill on creation of state police. I've sponsored a bill on decentralization of the judiciary. I've also sponsored a bill on decentralization of the Nigerian police. So I'm a federalist in my own thoughts as a politician and as a senator. But then my personal opinion may not be worthy enough to command the majority of the National Assembly. Just like at the National Assembly, you could even canvass a position. And like my position on the issue of the establishment of Food Reserve Agency and the elimination of livestock management, my position, which I still maintained, although overruled by the majority in the Senate, is that those are matter for residual legislative power and imbued by Section 4, Section 7 on the State Assembly in line with the decision of the Supreme Court in Attorney General of Lagos State and Attorney General of Federation, making a decision on the legality of the National Urban and Regional Planning Law. But ultimately, the decision on whether the Senate is in support of restructuring or fundamental constitutional amendment to ensure the evolution of power will ultimately not be taken by an individual, no matter how pleased, but has to be taken by the Senate in a plenary with debate and majority resolution. So I don't think why there should be so much free now for him to express his individual personal opinion as a senator. Perhaps that may be what his own people electing him from Yobe Central has opted for. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe he's speaking as a person that already have the resolution of the National Assembly to take a swipe on the education of the North or the Southern government.
Indeed, I hear you, Senator Bashiru. Yeah, he's a senator. At the end of the day, prime minister inter pares, albeit. But the way people, he's a special senator. His colleagues gave him the privilege that primus inter pares, and so that comes with its responsibilities. And when he speaks, people sort of expect that he will be guarded, he will be cautious, careful, so as not to give the impression that the Senate is leading in this direction, which you seem to have been at pains to express, is contrary to the actual situation. Because, for instance, I hear that, and you can set me right on this, the rumpus, so to speak, is such that you need an executive session sometime this morning before a public hearing on the matter, or whatever is the proper terminology that you call it. But there needs to be a meeting for you to, quote unquote, all calm down and then continue from there.
Yori, I read it in the two national dailies early this morning, and that an executive session is being called to douse tension. Typically, we hold executive sessions even in between plenary sessions in the National Assembly. And I don't think it is part of our procedure to even announce in advance that there will be an executive session. If there's a need for executive session, when the plenary resumes, when the usual announcements and the other positions have been taken, it is at that point that the Senate usually dissolves into an executive session. There is nothing extraordinary about having an executive session. What executive session means is that we want to talk outside the glare of the camera and officialdom of a record in the answer. And this avails opportunity of us to talk eyeball to eyeball without any fear of any contradictions and without any fear of misinterpretation of what you have said. So I believe that, yes, some senators may feel strongly that the Senate President ought, not to have taken the position that they have taken. But of course, the fact that the Senate President, and I will say this as a human rights person, does not derive him from having his own personal opinion, which ultimately will not represent the position of the Senate when subjected to democratic discussions and debate at the level of the Senate. So that's why it's very important to make a kind of a bifurcation in the context in which you are speaking as a Senate. At times, I run into the same challenge when I have opinion, and that's why I will base my statement to say that I'm speaking as a senator representing the good people of Osun Central and not as a Senate spokesperson, so that the media and the public will not have an impression that I'm speaking on behalf of the Nigerian Senate. There's only that tension there. So similarly to the president and of course the speaker of the and all other public functionaries, they also may express their opinion, and we are often called upon by journalists to show that would not mean that the opinion expressed by him in his personal capacity represents the opinion of the Nigerian Senate, which is an amalgamation of people, three representations of equal representation of all the states of Nigeria.
Okay, so quite frankly, Senator, long story short is that Senator Lawan's position, as you said, is his personal opinion and does not reflect the position of the Senate yet. The Senate has to deliberate on the matter, come to a conclusion, an agreement on the matter that can then be taken as the position of the House. Not.
Yeah, that's the essence of the democratic essence of having an institution of the Senate. And I've told you on several occasions, some of us have expressed opinion, even at the plenary, which have either been accepted or rejected. It is the crucible of debate, the crucible of scrutiny of and democratic appraisal is what determines what ultimately will come out as the resolution of the Senate. The Senate is the body.
Okay, we know that, Senator. That's why we called you up, because we were anxious to establish that the Senate hasn't taken a position on this, have they? And you have reassured us that not at all, in spite of Senator Lawan's statement. Not at all. No position has been taken yet on this question by the Senate. But could you hold on for me, Senator, please, while I bring in Kesandu. Good morning, Kesandu.
Uncle Yori, I greet you.
Good morning, sir.
I'm calling from Itubo, Imo State. You see, Uncle Yori, the true position is that I think Mr. Senate President, thank God the Senator has actually debunked that he didn't speak for them. He spoke for his person, which he has the right to say. But Mr. Senate President failed to understand and hear when this governor said that the unity of this country is not negotiable. They made it explicitly clear. And the truth about it is that Mr. Senate President has not asked himself. It is if he is sincere to himself, he would have asked himself, is Nigeria, the structure we are having today, is it working? The answer is no. Everybody in Nigeria now sees it. It is very crystal clear it's not working. What is the panacea to the problem? Let us restructure this country so that we have a free flow of everything. We are not asking for too much. This is what everybody. It is not about ethnicity. It is not about religion. We want a working Nigeria. We are Nigerians, and this is the only country we can call our own. But the structure is not working.
Yeah,
so
but Kesandu, very much what you're saying is what we have also heard Senator Bashiru, speaking as Senator spokesman, has also said. No positions have been formed yet.
Yes, but
it's just that we were a bit surprised. Probably the public were a bit surprised.
Such personality. Personality, because he should know better. He should be the one to champion restructuring. And unfortunately, he's the one speaking in this form. But Nigerians are so disappointed that Mr. Senate President will hold such view. But thank God the Senate is through the spokesperson. They're assuring us that yes, it's not the position of the Senate. I want to encourage the Senate. They should support restructuring. Let us restructure this country so that we'll all be proud that this is the country. Because I cannot see handing this kind of country over to my own generation, the next generation that is coming after me. I am not happy. Let us restructure this country, and we'll be happy that we did. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria indeed. Every Nigerian will say amen to that. Senator Bashiru, you can understand, you have explained, quite clearly the situation, and that when with Kesandu, I tried to sort of reiterate some of the points you made. But surely you can understand the grave concern that most Nigerians have. It's one thing for senators, it's one thing for Aso Rock, and all those people have security. A senator is not easy meat like that. You can't go knock on his door and start messing around with him. Unlike the hundreds of millions of, tens of millions of Nigerians that feel they just don't know what to do anymore. They're not getting any reaction as far as they can see from, the presidency. Then we need Senate to at least be an unbiased operator on our part. And then this, if you want to put it like that, unnecessary ruckus went and kicked up. Following, it looked like the southern governors were being criticized. Sure, you can understand where our people are coming from, sir.
I perfectly understand, Yori, and I just as I told you, indeed, I'm a federalist, and the political tendency I belong to also, I believe in federalism. And I think anybody that knows my political antecedents knows the political tendency that I belong to, and I'm proud to belong to that school. I believe that it is not by accident that the founding fathers of this country and the British colonialists decided to put in a federal system in Nigeria. And that is why when you look at the population of Nigeria and other federalist states, practically most states that have a population of more than 100 million, I think about 11 or so of them are object because of the heterogeneity of their society for federalism. But what I also know, as speaking as a senator, not as spokesperson, is that the Nigerian structure of federalism is no longer federalism. We are only federal in name and not federal in nature. And I will give an example. For instance, the allocation of resources. When you have about 52 or 56% allocation going to a level of government, and at the state level are left 36 plus the FCT to share about 22% of allocation. When you also look at the enumerated list, in the exclusive legislative list, about 66 items, which were also further accentuated by another 32 lists on the concurrent legislative list, and of course the propensity of our court, for instance, looking at decision in AG Odo State to expand the scope of new federal power by saying that chapter 2 of the Constitution can be looked into. I believe that so many subject matter needs to go back and to the states.
One moment, Senator. I beg your pardon. One moment, Senator. I beg your pardon. Because Mr. Lawale has called him from Ikorodu, and I wanted to include him in this. Good morning, Mr. Lawale, and thank you very much for holding on.
Yeah, good morning, Honorable Yori. Thank you very much. God bless you. And I want to especially thank.
Carry on, sir.
Okay. Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
God bless you. Yeah. And I want to thank Senator Ajibola for this timely intervention for correcting the notion, because it's a time bomb. What Senator Ahmad Lawan has said is a time bomb that can set the country ablaze. Okay, I'm very happy, and I thank you, Senator Ajibola. And I want to put it to the National Assembly, of which Senator Ahmad Lawan, PhD, is the chairman of the National Assembly. It is the duty of the National Assembly, because we cannot hold referendum. It is the duty of the National Assembly to initiate relevant amendments in the Constitution, especially the lopsided nature of the Constitution that is not working. Look, as Kesandu, or what's his name, has said just some minutes ago. Kesandu, sorry. The country is not working. There is so much power concentrated in the federal. That is why they want to kill themselves to become the president. So let us devolve part of the responsibilities to the state.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lawali, calling in from Ikorodu, and being appreciative of Senator Ajibola Bashiru. By the way, you called him Senator Ajibola. I called him Senator Bashiru. Senator, what is your surname?
My father's name is Bashiru. My name is Surajuddin Ajibola Bashiru.
Okay, so I got it right. Calling you Senator Bashiru, I got it right. So there's that gentleman there from Ikorodu being appreciative of your clarifying the issue, because he called it a time bomb actually, but I think we've sort of, if it is, we've diffused it very much in the sense of it being a misunderstanding, and that the Senate is unspoken for yet in this matter. That seems to be the biggest concern of people, that where else can you run to if it is not the National Assembly? And as you remembered, the Senate President happens to be the chairman as well. So onerous responsibility.
Sorry, Yori, if I may give this solicited information.
Sure.
The zonal hearings of the Constitutional Review Committee of the Senate will be holding next week, Wednesday and Thursday, across various centers in geographical zones in the country. I will urge Nigerians to come up with their position and attend the zonal hearings, so that the public sentiment will also be reflected in whatever comes from the zonal hearing. I know the Southwest zonal hearing will be in Lagos, and for Lagos and Ogun, and another one will be for the remaining 3 states in Akure. Then other zonal hearings too will also be held. So I believe, as Nigerians, we should take not just a passing interest in the constitutional review exercise. We should come to express our position on the need for us to remake Nigeria in a way that security and life of the people will matter. All of us, including senators, are victims of insecurity, are victims of social instability. And may it not come that the largest, the most populous country of the black race will become a failed state.
These Senator, these zonal hearings that you're talking about, can viewers find out more about them on the National Assembly or the Senate website?
Yeah, definitely. It's been put up in the newspapers and even in the social media.
Yeah.
Been circulated around. And the subject matter enumerated, of course, include matters to do with distribution of power, state creation, citizenship, electoral amendment, issue of the police force, and some other issues. And at the level of the Constitutional Review Committee, for which I represent my state, Australia, we have distilled some of the amendments that have been brought forward both by senators and by private individuals. And of course, we have reviewed 4 very important documents in this area, which include the WL5 APC Committee on Constitutional Amendment, which clearly make recommendations for the devolution of power and restructuring. We have also reviewed the 2014 Confab, and as well as the previous effort and attempt at reviewing the Constitution. So I believe that there has been a lot of effort has gone into having a more serious interaction as to looking clearly at how we structure our Constitution to be able to do so.
Okay, Senator. Let me bring in. I beg your pardon, Senator. I'm sorry. I know that there's a delay. Thank you very much. I know there's a delay. I wanted to hear from. I wanted us to hear from Mosaku in the UK. Good morning, Mr. Mosaku.
Yes. Good morning, Uncle Yori. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, please. My name is Sunday Mosaku. I'm still from United Kingdom.
Sunday Mosaku from?
Yes, United Kingdom.
Okay, carry on, please.
Yes, please, Uncle Yori, I think Nigeria, we all say the truth, and we always hide one finger. We are copying American system, and in America, they have more states than us here, more states than us in Nigeria, and they have different governors from different states. Yes, and then they have the central one up there, and then they have everything easily going for each of the states. Why not Nigerians? Why should you have to wait on the bomb explode before the whole Nigeria everybody starts running up and down? They should please simply do it for our upcoming generation to get a better life living in Nigeria.
Okay.
The hardship is too much, sir.
All right, then. Thank you very much for calling in from the UK. And also, lest you forget, I'm in studio with Seyi Adeyemo, publisher of Inside Watch Africa. And I was joking that if he needs to, they sometimes adapt it to Inside Watch Nigeria, as well as being a public affairs analyst. Now, Seyi, you've been able to hear, Dr. Bashiru there, Senator Bashiru speaking for the Senate. He explains that he represents a senatorial constituency in Osun, and when he speaks in that capacity, he lets us know. But here, as the senator speaking for the Senate of Nigeria, there are a lot of notions out there that he was at pains to clarify. And somebody called in saying that, well, it's quite reassuring the way he has gone. Are you reassured as well?
Oh, certainly. I mean, I would just quickly add, whether we like it or not, this was going to come. So when the NSAS thing came, I told people, look, this is like a signal of what is going to start to happen. Now, I'm happy that the Senate have begun to understand that whether they like it or not, they are a representative of the people. Now, the governors as well, as far as I'm concerned, they were quiet for too long. Look, at the end of the day, they are the chief executive of their states. We have all referred to the fact that initially when we had Nigeria zoned into regions, it was a better deal. And I begin to ask myself over time that why would we have tried something that worked and we're finding it difficult if we don't completely return to it, to take from it, to borrow from it. I don't know why we insist that we have to run a unitary government in a federal arrangement. It's not working for us. So we need to go back and really, really understand what federalism really is and start to operate in, because at the end of the day, it's for our good. Whether we accept it or not, you would benefit more as president. Because why do you want to kill yourself? Why do you want to do the works of 36 governors when you can do your own work and be happy and still be praised for doing your work? Now you want to do the work of 36 guys. They've been elected, they are getting money, they're being paid for that job. Allow them to do their work so that everybody will benefit. The reason why everybody is saying, oh, let us devolve, let us do this, is because what we have now, human beings naturally don't like to wahala themselves. The moment things are working, they will forget. Yeah. But because it is not working, that is why there's so much clamor. So can we, for God's sake, I just referred when I started to Governor Ganduje, who is from Kano. There are a lot of Northerners that I know that speak, some of them publicly and off camera, and are saying, can we visit this thing? So those who are saying we should leave it the way it says are minorities. And we all must come together and shut them down so that for our good. You, in your introduction, referred to Southerners, Yorubas, Igbos, who have established themselves in the North. They will never be in support of leaving the North. So can we make their life easier by dealing with ourselves fairly and equitably? That's what we're asking for.
Exactly. Let me seek Senator Bashiru's take on the commentary that we've heard that, look, some of the things that came up from the Asaba Declaration, as we're now referring to it, that a lot of that stuff had actually been addressed in the last confab that we had, and allegedly the results of that, the referendum and all of that, was simply put away nicely in a drawer and never looked at again since. I don't know. First of all, if you've heard that yourself, and then two, if you subscribe to the whole notion, why do we do those kind of things in our society in Nigeria? By which I mean that go to a lot of effort, a lot of expense, come up with stuff, and then ignore it because it isn't suiting perhaps some people's preconceived notions.
I agree with you that it is unbecoming of us as leaders of the country. And of course, as a member of the Nigerian Senate, I will, of course, by extension, the willingness to live in the country, I will not personally isolate myself. I've had course in my assignment as a representative of my state and cultural review committee to review all existing documents. And I will tell you, Yori, if these documents had actually been looked into and properly implemented, we will not, certainly, I'm so sure, I will not say perhaps, be in the situation that we are. And I will give you an example. The 2014 Confab, which was even convened by the PDP government of President Jonathan, was far-reaching on the issue of restructuring, fiscal federalism, issue of devolution of power, and so on and so forth. The same thing with the ruling party, that's my party, APC. The committee led by Governor Rufai, of which quite a number of our people, including some serving senators, serve as secretary, the senator Adetunji of the state. Far-reaching resolutions were made. We should stop the era of making resolutions and putting them under
exactly. One moment, please. One moment, please, Senator. One moment, please, Senator, while I bring in Bode, who has been holding on for quite a while in Abuja, and I apologize for that. Good morning, Bode.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Please go ahead now. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead now.
The gentleman, Mr. Seyadi,
yes,
and the senator from my state.
Senator Bashiru.
Dr. Bashiru. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
With the statement and the comment of the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, will not be a preempt to the decision and the stand of the senators when they all met, when they are meeting. Then, knowing fully that we know the characteristics of these people that are coming from the upper Niger, about the Kundalism system, that whatever their leader has said will be what they will follow. All this has been characterized with our system in Nigeria. Whenever their leader has spoken, whether their own personal capacity or they are speaking for the legislator, when the senator want to take a decision, won't they follow the direction of the Mr. Ahmed Lawan? Okay,
buddy, I get you. Thank you very much for calling in. Senator Bashiru, you heard that there, that it's we know how we relate here. We look to our leaders for direction. What is the right opinion to adopt? If I don't know myself, I look to my leader, see what his position is, I latch on to that. And, it's a well-known, phenomenon. That is what Bode, calling in from Abuja, said was the danger of Senator Lawan's, it's been called in the paper this morning, outburst.
I think there's a need for us to address one issue. Every state in Nigeria has 3 elected senators. I think the duty on us from all over the country is to ensure that there is a synergy between the elected National Assembly members and our governors. There should be more rapport for us to agree and get concerned about the issue of constitutional representation and the nature of representation that we will be presenting at the National Assembly. I believe as an elected representative, I'm not just there for myself as Dr. Ajibola Bashiru. I'm there for a constituency, and the constituency must have a position which must be distilled from the position of our political party. At times, I find it disconcerting when people who are members of my political party take a contrary position to what has been in the Governor Rufai and the Committee on the Devolution of Power and the review of the Constitution. If our party has taken that position and in our manifesto roll out in 2015, that has been the same. So there's a need for 2 roles to be played. Our party needs to use its whip by ensuring that our caucus follow the guidelines and follow the principles illustrated in our manifesto and in all relevant reports. Then our governors also need to see the National Assembly members as partner in progress. And of course, what I have the benefit of is that I have my leader, Chibisa Akande, who only questions he asks me as a representative from the Central District, his progress report on the structuring of the country, amendment of constitution, and how we are going to have a genuine federal system. So I think we need benefit of such leaders to also continue to nudge us to ensure that we don't get to the left chamber or the green chamber and lose the focus of the fact that we are not there in our personal capacity, but to represent the Nigerian people through our constituency.
Sure, Senator Bashiru. Mr. Yakub, thank you very much for holding on. Go ahead now, sir.
Thank you, and then good morning to your guest and Senator Ajibola Bashir. You see, Chief Yori, it is unfortunately that the Senate President uttered that kind of a language.
But it's been put in context. Yakub.
That is, you see, somebody like me, I support that Senate President. Even for the first time that he tried and then did not make it, I was not happy that time. But finally he got it. We all believe that it will work with Nigerian President, in person of President Muhammad Buhari and the other the senator in the House. You see, the Senate President should know that he's a leader. Whatever he says, whether he says it as a person or he seems to say it for the group of the senators, but whatever he says, every Nigerian will count it as indirectly he's spoken for the Senate.
Yeah.
Just like Senator Ajibola Bashiru now. That is why Senator Ajibola Bashiru stands out within the senators. Because I followed him bumper to bumper. Even in the Twitter, I followed him. Why? Why? Because he always sponsors a bill that will help Nigerian citizens. Let me give you a typical example.
Wait, before you go faster, you remember, I thought you were going to, you sort of either toe the line or vary the line of Mr. Lawali, who called him from Ikorodu, with the concern that no matter how Senator Lawan, Senate President, was speaking, because he's a leader, having then spoken, he has put pressure on because he feels that we generally look to our leaders when we're not sure of how to think. And here I'm talking about politically, what's the position that we should be taking here? And there's so many aspects to this whole call for restructuring that require for you to be thinking analytically and indeed be thinking correctly in the midst of a storm of all contending positions. So Olawale, calling him from Ikorodu, was concerned that he had actually gone out with that kind of a statement, flying in the face of the things that you are saying, that he's a special senator and therefore shouldn't be speaking anyhow. He feels that some damage has been done. But Senator Ajibola that we have, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, has said not really, that he was speaking for himself. And you have the Senate very much intact in terms of being able to function the way they were supposed to be to be representing those who sent them there.
Yes, Chief, you said it right. But what I'm trying to say, and what I'm alluded to, is this: as a Senate President, okay, in every situation, you should be able to know what to say and then what not to say.
I hear you, sir.
And then I will say that, do you know that we are missing a golden chance in 2015 when they organized that confab? I didn't mean that the former president was not looking at the second time. When they finished that confab, if you go through that very particular confab and then you go through all the statements they made that time, it is not all the statement those people made that is bad that time. That is why the APC as a party set up another committee headed by the governor of Kaduna State. The issue is this: we really need to restructure this country.
Okay, Mr. Yakub, I want to interrupt you now. Forgive me for doing so. I've got to interrupt you now because I have heard you fully, and your impression is valuable. So thank you very much, but we've heard you. A lot of people are unhappy. Even there are headlines, alongside with you, saying that Lawan didn't do well at all, speaking the way he spoke. But with hearing, if not directly from him, as close as we'll get, for now, we've heard a spokesman for the Senate saying that no fear, things are the way they should be. But Sheyi, the issue that Olawale brought up, say the danger here that whereas they are listening to the refinements that we are putting to this whole thing, people that don't have the time or indeed perhaps the ability, and I mean to be disparaging to none, the ability to think correctly, they just look to their leaders. What does my leader say about it? And in this case, if Senator Lawan has so very many people that he is leader to, well, people like, I think, Mr. Yakub, and I think before that Olawale, and perhaps to some extent Musaku in the UK, are saying that this is the damage that this kind of a thing can be done. So I guess he's looking for a more elevated kind of politicking and being aware of treading very, very lightly on certain subject matters that they feel the Senate President did not observe.
I would just want to add the fact that whether he's saying it right or wrongly, I believe that every senator, like Senator Bashir, have shown us, have their right to take their stand. Because at the end of the day, if they look at the discourse that is going on very clearly, we're getting to a point where Nigerians are saying, maybe we don't even need the Senate. Maybe we need to merge them. Maybe it's time to go to the people directly, because the power lies with the people. So if they don't do their job now, as it goes on, whether today or tomorrow, Nigerians are going to wrestle whatever power or relevance that the Senate or the House of Representatives have. Because you see, the truth of the matter is, as human beings, you can take pain just for a time. After some time, people will themselves say it is time to take over this thing from these people.
Indeed. But Senator Bashiru, I want to thank you very much for making time for us this morning, sir, especially as it was at short notice. For that, we thank you for coming on and clarifying the matter such as it is. I want to thank you very much. Did you want to say?
I also appreciate you too for making this timely intervention.
All right then. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I will take a break and let me see. Okay. What we're going to do now is I think we have on the line now the governor of Abia State. Yeah. There you go. Good morning, Mr. Governor Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State. Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
I would have wanted to speak with you earlier, but I heard that you were on the football pitch. It's a daily ritual. So here we are. I can see how refreshed you look. Good morning to you again. Now,
thank you.
We wanted to speak with you about the unfortunate news that yet another police station was burned down a few days ago. What's going on? Why this constant strike? And have you come up with something now? I know we don't have all the time we would have liked, but tell me what you can about stemming the flow of this kind of a situation in Abia State.
Hello. I barely heard you. There's so much noise in the background. Can you come again?
Send 2 pages. No, send to me.
Oh dear, I can understand. I just heard something I shouldn't have heard myself. So, Mr. Governor, what I was saying was that because of the violence that is continuing, and you don't get much more violent than taking out a police station, reportedly the Commissioner of Police says 2 policemen were lost. So I wanted to ask you, how concerned are you about this? No, that's a stupid question. You must be very, very, very concerned. But what have you been able to do about it?
Well, thank you very much. The matter is a very, very complicated one. It's very unfortunate. If you recall, since this new wave broke out in the southeast, Abia State has managed to remain very, very peaceful and quiet. Thanks to our proactive intelligence gathering mechanism and some strategies we put in place to make sure that we reduce vulnerable points. If you recall, when they attacked the station at Oban, it was
I can see the network has frozen. I can see. I think it's a matter of bandwidth. well, I think I should just say at this stage, looking at the time, looking at the state of the clock, that Mr. Governor, we're running out of time, and
I'll keep them down. But the Obakala incident, particularly, what is up?
Mr. Governor, can you hear me? It's not working very well for us, and I'm sure it's the same with you over there.
So I was trying to say that we are going. Okay.
Carry on, sir.
Yeah. So what do we do?
Can we reschedule this? Can we reschedule this and talk to you tomorrow? I just want to be able to get speaking to you directly.
Can you hear me now?
Oh dear, it's not the best. Governor, we have no less than Governor Okezie Ikpeazu, and then unfortunately there are issues, there are network issues. So if you're hearing me, Governor, I'm proposing that we reschedule and call you again tomorrow, if that's agreeable to you, and if you could make time for us so that we could spend some quality time with you, Governor. You know, I like that.
Okay, no problem.
Can we speak again tomorrow morning, God willing, so that that time the network would have, you know, eased up, and we'll hear some of your thoughts and concerns about this. But in the meantime, thank you very much, Governor, for making time for us today. We'll meet tomorrow to spend much more quality time on this issue. Thank you very much, Mr. Governor. It's been one of those kind of days, but I think in terms of the whole security, the whole Asaba declaration, and then interferences, you know, to that smooth flow, as people had seen it, that's been sorted out, I think, largely. For now, and for now, I mean in this particular second, because we need to, you could move 5 minutes more, and then people begin to say something different. But at least the one thing, it's important that we've gotten it out of the way that Senator Lawan was not speaking for the Senate. The Senate is yet to take a position on this, and when they will only take a position after every one of them has had the opportunity to contribute to this whole question, because they're representing all of us. Senator Lawan himself represents some people. So maybe he was speaking for those people or for himself, but certainly not for the Senate. So I want to thank you very much, Sheyi.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Sheyi Adeyemo, publisher, IWA, and public affairs analyst. He prefers IWA. So I said both. I said IWA, I said IWA. So that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.